Hi, I'm Chad. If you're studying for a commercial real estate exam or you're new into the business, you probably feel a bit overwhelmed with all the formulas you have to learn. Some are more important than others, but the one in which you absolutely need to memorize is the formula for cap rates. I'll leave a link in the description that illustrates cap rates in more detail, but what I wanted to cover in this video is a trick I learned many years ago to help you remember how to set up this formula. There are only three variables that go into the equation: value, which is denoted as V, net operating income, or I, and cap rate, or R. To help you remember the formula, you'll want to set it up as a triangle as follows. Now here's my tip to help it sink in. Pretend it's a garage for your RV. It's corny, and maybe that's why it's so easy to remember, but you'll just need to remember that my RV is parked inside and I am living on top. Here's where the magic sets in. If you set it up this way, you can calculate any value if you know two of the other variables. For example, if you're trying to solve for value, simply cover up the V and you'll see that you need to divide income by the cap rate. If you're trying to solve for the cap rate, cover up the R and you'll see that you need to divide income by the value. Lastly, if you're trying to solve for the income, cover up the I and you'll see you need to multiply cap rate by value. The more of these calculations you do, the easier it'll be, but when you're just starting out, I'd recommend setting up the garage. Let's go through some examples as well to help this sink in a little bit better. Let's say you have a property that has income of $60,000 and the cap rate is 8%. In this case, you're trying to solve for value, so cover up the V and you'll need to divide income by the cap rate. In this example, the value will be $750,000. In a second example, let's say there's a property with income of $300,000 and the value is $4 million. Well, here you're trying to solve for R. So cover up the R and you'll see you need to divide income by value. In this case, it will work out to a cap rate that you're calculating of 7.5%. Last example, third property, let's say there's a building with a value of $5 million and you know that the cap rate is 9%. So you're trying to solve for the income. Well, cover up the I and you'll see you need to multiply cap rate by the value. So in solving the income for this one, it will work out to $450,000. This setup works well for other formulas too, although it won't be as neatly described as the RV garage. But another example is calculating watts, amps, and volts. If you set up the triangle as follows, if I were trying to create a simple mnemonic, when I think of this formula, I might say, "What's up?" The order of the two variables on the bottom can be interchanged. So long as you remember the top, you'll be set. And as long as you know two of the variables, simply cover up the one you're trying to solve for and determine if you need to multiply or divide the other two. In this case, if you want to solve for amps, cover up the A and you'll divide W by V. If you're trying to solve for voltage, cover up voltage and you'll need to divide watts by amperage. Lastly, if you're trying to solve for wattage, simply cover up the W and you'll need to multiply voltage by amperage. But back to cap rates. This really does get a lot easier the more you do. I left a few questions in the description if you want to practice, but I'd also recommend doing as many as you can. And if you got any value from this video, I'd greatly appreciate you liking and subscribing. And thanks for watching. Have a great day.